In this exceptional episode of Streamin' with Keegan, Keegan and a distinguished panel of guests will engage in a thought-provoking dialogue, exploring the burgeoning frontiers of deep learning artificial intelligence and its profound implications for musicians and creatives worldwide. Are we presented with a captivating instrument to harmonize with our artistic endeavors? Or does it pose a formidable challenge, potentially rendering human expression obsolete? Join us as we delve into this fascinating discourse.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Streamin' with Keegan. This is a special episode of Streamin' with Keegan. As you can tell, my voice is different. I have a voice changer on, but not just any voice changer. An AI voice changer powered by deep learning AI. Was found that intro and wrong thing. Over here, there we go. Yeah, I've got a panel of guests consisting of Digital Love and Alex. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Hey, what's up? What's
Hello.
up?
I'm Digital Love. Nice to meet you all.
What's up, Digital Love?
I am LXH. Imagine I had the speak and spell samples ready to go just then.
I am LXH. Fuck yeah. Love it, love it.
Yeah, I feel like I must have mentioned this on the last stream I was on, but I think I subbed to Bishu for a year, and I kept putting my stuff in stream, and he kept calling me he's like, bro, I don't know how the hell you pronounce your name. And I'm just in chat like, say it letter by letter. I am Alex H. That's my name.
I just said I didn't pronounce it perfectly, but I said I am LXH or something. I am LXH,
Yeah, it's close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like those.
I mean, the whole.
I put my voice back to normal. By the way, I don't know if you.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Cool.
So you're chilling?
I'm chilling. So yeah, this stream is for those of you who don't know, this is going to be called the AI Deep Dive. Well, this is called the AI Deep Dive, where we talk about different kinds of artificial intelligence. Well, specifically, deep learning artificial intelligence, the shit that everybody's freaking out about these days. That kind of thing. Abstract,
like neural networks, kind of.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Yeah. AI. That's I have like a
self-teaching programs, really.
Exactly. Shit that is not hard coded. That we didn't really create in the same way that we created hard coding technology. You train it, you don't code it, program it in the same way. That's the kind of shit that's taking off and inspiring and scaring the shit out of different artists. Hey, Enderjed, welcome to the stream. Hopefully I'm not too late. You're not too late. We just started. Yeah, Abstract was gonna be on here. So was Rich Av Preem. A lot of people. I had this idea planned way back, but Rich Av Preem, obviously he kind of disappeared off the map. And Abstract
I mean, I've just discovered, as an adult, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get together with people, especially more than one person at a time.
Yeah.
Everyone works different schedules. Everyone's got different shit going on in their life,
Yeah.
It's valid.
With Rich Av Preem in particular, though, he just left the community because it's complicated reasons. It was a long time coming, but anyway, not a lot. Yeah. Abstract was like very sudden, had something come up, which I don't put anything against him for that, but it is a bummer. I would like to maybe make another episode iteration of this, just to talk to him about artificial. Yeah, just to talk to him about artificial intelligence as well, because I know he had a lot to say. Hey, Sundown, welcome to the stream.
Yo, what's up, Sundown? What's good, bro?
Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. Let's start by talking about like how each of us was basically exposed to this new kind of AI. I was exposed to it a long time ago, years and years ago. Well, not super long time ago, but years ago, when my brother was talking about this. Ooh, there's this super cool robot that can learn how to play games, video games, and it learns how to play video games. Whoa. An artificial intelligence that can learn? Crazy, dude. Like, that was the kind of thing. It was a novelty back in the day, back when TikTok, of course. Yeah, TikTok has a shit ton of AI filters and stuff. But yeah, let's not even get started with that. But yes, ironically, back in the day there was also like, back when remember when, like, I'm sure you guys remember a time when the only neural network deep learning AI around was like painfully bad, and you could laugh at it, that kind of thing. Like Doll-E Mini, the text to image, fucking cursed images.
I still laugh at it. I still just completely laugh at it. My favorite thing to do is just put just the dumbest things I can think of into the AI. I think is running some version of Stable Diffusion, and just like I just type in completely ludicrous things and just see what the hell it shits out. And that is what is interesting to me. When it doesn't, exactly work as intended, like it's kind of got, if you give it something vague, it's kind of got a personality of its own. So it'll like do it to the best of its ability. Go on.
Sorry, I'm reading a comment. The idea of theory crafting of self-learning AI goes back to Alan Turing's chess engine, working on between 1945 and 1952. Theory crafting. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize it was that old. I thought it was a recent development. I thought AI. I thought for the longest time AI was just hard coded. Basically, like, you program it to do. You program it. I'm not a programmer. I have never coded an artificial intelligence in my life, so I'm very much outside looking in. But I always assumed
I'm almost a programmer.
Fair. My brother's a programmer, so I kind of get a lot of.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So I always thought that deep learning artificial intelligence that could be trained instead of programmed. I thought that was like a lot more recent.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
I think the first time I saw AI that like learned from things,
he didn't implement it in the TuroChamp engine in time before his death. However,
but I think the first time I saw AI like that was similar to that. It was like it showed up on my YouTube page. It was like something about like Rocket League AI that this guy coded. Yeah, just getting better and better. Yeah. That was crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. My brother is also really into Rocket League, and he
I remember you talking about that. He's
actually part of a Rocket League bot community where he programs hard-coded. He's programmed hard-coded Rocket League bot AI in that video game, Rocket League.
Yeah, bro.
But now the machine learning AI Rocket League bot in the community has like surpassed all the hard coded bots because it can learn, it can get better,
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. And it doesn't need human intervention to get better. It can just do it all by itself.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
The scariest part about this new kind of AI model is the fact that we can't say that we're 100% responsible for how good it's become. We weren't there to build every block. We only set the
black box, right?
Yeah.
Legit.
So that's like the scary part of this AI. We're venturing into the unknown. Alex, what about you? What was your first introduction to this kind of AI?
Well, actually, when I was studying at IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, I have a music technology degree from there, which, I mean, it covered a lot of really cool bases. unfortunately, none of which, kind of explain how to monetize these skills. But one of the people I studied under was Dr. Benjamin Day Smith, who was the author of a library for Max, Max MSP. If anyone here is an Ableton Live user, it's that Max. It's Max for Live Max. And it's called ML.star, which is, it was just kind of an attempt at, a machine learning sort of thing in just for Max MSP. Just a library for it. So, if you have Max MSP and you download ML.star and you know how the hell it works, theoretically you could make some machine learning devices for Ableton Live.
That's crazy. I don't use Ableton. I don't use Ableton Live, but my mom uses Ableton Live.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
Your mom's a professional musician, or?
Yeah, she I wouldn't say. She makes music. She's a folk musician. She live streams.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I could show you. I could send you a link at some point when she goes live.
Yeah, go for it. But we're kind of getting off the subject.
Of course. Yeah, just
anyway.
yeah.
After that, I just kind of discovered. I was watching a lot of Vinny Vinesauce. So he was doing, Talk to Transformer. He was doing AI Dungeon. He was showing neural network generated pictures people had sent him, and this was 2019-ish. So it's before all the neural network apps were developed. Like if you were going to make something like that, you'd have to find a Google Colab and then run the thing. And so
those
I started
still
looking.
exist.
Oh yeah, and honestly, I prefer them a lot to the AI apps. The ones that have
Cost money,
X and Y restrictions,
exactly.
Cost money,
exactly.
Probably involve some kind of spyware. It's just an algorithm. You can hack it up in Python. You can just rent out some computer on the Google servers. Maybe you have to pay if you want something really crazy. For a while, I was actually paying a monthly subscription for Colab Plus in order to do OpenAI Jukebox, which that's the kind of thing that scares a lot of people because it literally it generates a musical audio file,
right?
And a lot of them actually do make musical sense, but I will not say that they are songs. They're for one thing, I've never been able to get OpenAI Jukebox to generate any more than 60 seconds worth of audio.
Right.
But
good for sampling, perhaps, and that's how it should be. In my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I like. Because in fact, one of these things, there's a song that I've been working on off and on for a while now, months, maybe even a year. And part of it involves a. This is kind of a funny story. I was screwing around with OpenAI Jukebox, and so I was trying to see what would happen if I gave it gibberish input. And so for the genre, I typed atonal fart hollering, and for the artist, I typed Bob Saget. And so, of course, neither of those were in the database. For OpenAI Jukebox, so it was just
had to get creative.
It was well, I'm just gonna pull from basically everything I have. I'm gonna act as though this prompt's blank, and I got some really interesting musical samples. There are bits there you could use drum loops, and there's some it knows how to play in a key, and there's it's you can get some kind of little funky grooves again to sample. It would not be what I would consider, something that could replace an actual musician, because it honestly, all neural networks I've played with are agents of chaos. you kind of get what you get.
Yeah. I get that for sure. And
Yeah.
The thing is, I actually have a list of now that we got that introductory part over with, I now know how you guys were introduced to deep learning AI. I actually have a list of tabs on my browser of these different websites and things that I found while digging. Some of which I use, others I just found recently for this stream. Because you were just talking about jukebox, I found something that, in my opinion, I mean, I've heard some jukebox songs, and in my opinion, this is like pretty significantly better than jukebox, which is like inspiring, but also kind of scares the hell out of me at the same time.
Okay.
It's called AIVA, Ava AIVA.
Gotcha.
I have the thing open. I'm gonna send you. Download this. I generated basically. It doesn't have anywhere near the amount of freedom as jukebox. You can't put in a prompt, but you can put in a genre.
Okay.
And this genre is epic emotional pop or whatever.
All right. I think I have an idea of how this works.
All right. I'm gonna send you my favorite song that it created, and the song that intimidates me the most. I'm gonna play it for the stream. You guys can play it too if you want.
Oh. Yeah. Let me just have it not come through my speakers real quick.
Yeah. I'm playing it right now.
Okay. All right. So this is. All right. Yeah, this is how actually I thought it would be working, and for what it's worth, I don't think you would need a neural network to do this. I kind of think, you could hard code a lot of this, because I mean, it does sound nice, but what I'm thinking is happening is that the whatever AI it is generating MIDI files. Because
you know what? Yeah.
MIDI files are a lot easier to generate because they're a lot smaller.
Yeah. Again, I don't pretend to be knowledgeable about any. I mean, I know that I can confirm that it probably does use MIDI files though, because it gives you the option. Hang on, I don't know if I still have that part open.
Yeah, it's like MIDI files going into a decent sample bank. Yeah.
Yeah. It says download single files, and it gives you the option to customize them with a MIDI.
Oh wow, yeah. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Actually, the thing is, if we're talking about something like MIDI, that's something that's kind of been around for a while. I don't know if either of you are at all into modular synthesizers. But in the modular synthesizer world and in like the live coding world and all, like really nerdy electronic music, there's something called generative music. And that's actually pretty simple to make, depending on what you're trying to make. There's actually I can think of something I made a while ago. I'm not sure where the audio file I rendered is. But it was in Reactor. Either of you have any knowledge of Reactor?
I do not.
It's Native Instruments. It's sort of a Native Instruments build your own synth like toolbox.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You can't like export it to a VST because then you could make money, and Native Instruments doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Less versus.
But.
Sorry, I'm reading a comment. Go on, continue. Finish yours.
But yeah, so Reactor has this mode called Blocks, which is sort of a simplified version of what it's doing under the hood in sort of a visual representation of like something that would look like a Eurorack synthesizer, if you can imagine what that looks like.
A Eurorack synthesizer.
Eurorack is like okay, you know those really like images of like Wendy Carlos, We Stand a Queen, you know, Wendy Carlos and like the guys from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I forget which one was playing the keyboards there, Emerson, Lake or Palmer. And but like it's the big synth, you know, the one that's like a wall of like not knobs and dials.
Yeah, like
right.
the it's like a whole. It goes like up like vertically, right?
Yes. Well, the thing is, those are not, you know, all those knobs. Those aren't all one thing. They're a bunch of smaller things with like I don't know, 2 to 5 knobs, and those are called modules. And Eurorack is a standard for making synthesizer modules. Instead of the like guitar cable kind of 1/4 inch, it has 1/8 inch, more like an aux cable.
Right.
But anyway, something that you can do in Reactor and in, you know, an actual like modular synthesizer, if you have the right modules, is take a random number generator or noise going into a sample and hold. Like I guess RNG is the more understandable term here. I'm trying to explain modular synthesis to people who I don't know whether, you know, they know much about modular synthesis at all.
Yeah.
But if you put noise, like literally white noise, into a sample and hold with a trigger, every time the trigger fires, you can hold a value from the noise, and that's essentially a random number. So if you take that number and put it through something called a quantizer, you can like auto-tune that voltage to a note in a scale. And like you can select which notes you want to tune it to and all of that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, so I made a piece once in Reactor, basically made from random number generators, going into a quantizer set to a pentatonic scale, and C-Androgen, and so
Yo, peace, bro.
Like, I mean, you guys have played around with the pentatonic scale. You know, it's all the black keys on the piano.
Yeah.
So basically, whatever you play in that is gonna sound pretty damn good.
Right.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like next time you have a keyboard, just play a bunch of black keys. You can even play them together, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've done that on my MIDI keyboard before.
But when I was a fucking child, I'd do that. I was like, it's fascinating.
Hey, who hasn't?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
hasn't
Yeah,
done that,
like
you know,
my fucking grandma's grand piano. You know.
yeah.
But
a grand piano. That's sick.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna unless if you're did you still have more to say, or can I move on to the next bullet?
Yeah, I mean, I basically, you know, like I took, you know, a couple random number generators, put them into quantizers based on the same pentatonic scale, and then for the bass, I had a smaller selection of notes, and I had the trigger at a slower time value. So it's sort of more like bass parts are actually, you know, written in music.
Yeah.
So I had basically, you know, I had quantized to the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6, cause I mean, you've heard the 4-chord song, right?
The 4-chord song. Is there a particular 4-chord song I should know about? I don't know if I've heard it.
The 4-chord song, it's like a mashup of all of the songs that use this exact same progression. Let me get this crappy toy Yamaha FM keyboard. And it's trying to set my microphone up. It fell on the floor. Yeah, we got our shit together.
Yeah, Yeah, Digital
yeah,
Love has some issues going on as well, so don't worry.
The four chord song is like
Right.
like you've heard that progression in like half of the songs on the pop charts, basically.
Yeah. Simple chord progressions.
So basically, the bass notes of that are, and so those are what I quantize the bass part to, and so it just kind of went from those bass notes with the couple pentatonic melodies playing.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounded like it was actually it sounded like it had intent.
Yeah, you know what? I'm realizing, yeah. In hindsight, with MIDI files, with that kind of thing, with MIDI, it actually is pretty. It actually probably would be pretty easy to hard code that shit. It's just all mathematical, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And Western music theory, like as I learned it in high school, it's really easy for computers to do because you can make a flow chart of the circle of fifths, where like you can like select a random chord, like so.
And like the thing,
let's say we're in C major, so if you select the minor 2 chord, you can't just go there. You can't just go from there like from 2 to 1. You have to pass through 5, so it's
right. Okay.
So like that is a musical idea.
Right.
So that's just how you make musical ideas in Western music theory.
Right. Yeah. And it's cool. I in that respect, I can music in that particular in Western music specifically, and just music in general abroad, it has very specific very predictable patterns, I suppose. So in hindsight, yeah, I guess, yeah. Truth be told, there's a lot to be said about hard-coded artificial intelligence that I feel like in this world where everybody assumes it's a machine learning, deep learning AI of the future, I do feel like there's the tendency to underestimate hard-coded artificial intelligence, which and the thing is, I'm not a programmer. I don't know any of this like shit. Once you walked me through it, I understood it. But I'm actually glad that you did, because there are a lot of people that there's a lot of companies that might use the flashy new word AI and think you mean ChatGPT. When in actuality it's just some hard-coded thing. But
honestly,
and the truth is
go on.
And the thing is, Ava may or may not be hard-coded. Yeah, I guess. But I still feel like whether or not it's hard-coded, like, in many respects, deep learning AI, like, I still think it has the potential. Like, here's an example of here's an example of hard-coded AI versus machine learning AI. I'm gonna bring up Minecraft, because I know I'm very familiar with the kind of shit in Minecraft that happens in Minecraft. I don't know if how long ago how long have you played Minecraft? I know you play Minecraft.
Oh my god, played Minecraft? Since high school.
Cool. So that was in like.
That would have been like early 2010s. I graduated in 2014.
Cool. I think I started playing Minecraft in like 2012.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds about right.
1.2.5. That was the update.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I was playing the same version around the exact same time.
Cool. All right. Yeah, Digital Love is still having audio problems, but anyway, I don't know if you can still hear us, Digital. Oof. Actually, I guess he doesn't. Can't hear us. The headphones are kind of, but the headphone logo is like crossed out. Hope he's having. Anyway, to continue my point, yeah. I've always been, well, maybe not always, but I was quickly aware of the differences in the hard-coded AI of each mob in Minecraft. Like I was aware of like I was aware of the way they moved and attacked and just like that kind of stuff. Like I like back in 1.0 when I watched stuff in 1.0, I realized like you know how like you know how like their head would move and then and their bot like at a certain angle, like I don't remember exactly what angle, like a felt I don't have like the percent, like the certain number like of the degree angle it is, but like it would move, the body would like move like kind of follow the head a lot, kind of like how the player looks around and the body follows the head very close behind.
Sure.
All of the mobs used to do that in 1.0. And whereas now today when you see a mob move their head around, their body, it's like yeah, it's like the body like follows afterwards, you know, like the head can turn all the way to the right or the left and the body will follow to a point, and then when the head stops moving, the body follows to align with the head. Just like those subtle movements in the mob with the mobs, as well as the way they turned their head, the way they moved their bodies, but also the way they walked around, like, and chased after you in the game. Like, I think the most obvious thing that everybody noticed in Minecraft with the AI was like suddenly the monsters were smarter. They can walk around things, right? They can walk around blocks when they chase you. They don't just walk into things when you're behind them. They'll walk around. They'll avoid falling into holes, shit like that.
Right. But even that is not machine learning.
No,
That's
it's
just
not. It's
hard coding more stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Both are hard coded. But I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of providing a background for what, like, the kind of shit I was like paying attention to when I played Minecraft.
Okay, gotcha.
Like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm back. So sorry.
Hey, Digital,
what's
what's
up?
up?
There we are.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, bro.
So where I was
My
going,
bad, guys.
so I don't know if you heard what I was saying or not.
Yeah. I was hearing a lot what you were saying about Minecraft.
Cool. Yeah. So, that being said, I recently discovered, and I've talked about this, I think, with Alex. I've DM'd you about this specifically, and Digital, I feel like you might have been there. I think you joined that live stream.
Yeah. You sent me something.
Yeah.
You sent me something about an baritone. That's what it was called. It was like an actual neural network. For controlling.
Well, actually, no. Baritone is hard coded. Surprisingly,
is it?
Yeah. It basically, but it's still really, it's an example of a really good hard coding bot, but it can't get any better than it is, right? But it's still, it knows where everything is in the game. It has X-ray vision. It's like it knows where you are. And one of the cool things that people like to do with it is make it hunt you down and kill you. And I wanted to try that, but I wanted to try that on live on stream. I couldn't find I couldn't find.
So it's like that fake Reddit story about the guy hiring a hitman on himself.
Yeah. Except in Minecraft. If you ever watch Dream,
not clickbait.
If you ever watch Dream's content, I don't watch Dream a lot, but
I haven't watched him at all.
Yeah, he introduced me. I saw like they called it like the Terminator because they called it like the Terminator because it's an AI, it's a robot that's an AI that's chasing them and killing them. And Dream does a lot of Dream does a lot of like manhunt videos, and that was like, baritone was the perfect match.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was, and then I was also like, but there's also like deep learning neural network AI for Minecraft that doesn't
really?
and this doesn't see the entire game. It learns, it recognizes patterns. It's not super good right now, but it's learning, and it's just like it's
Yeah,
like watching it.
This is cool. This is cool to me. I want to watch it learn.
Yeah.
The only problem is it takes a hell of a long time for video game AI to learn, like a neural network, a self-learning, a machine learning program. Because I tried that a while ago. I tried that neural network for finishing Mario, and I mean, you've seen those videos, like, finishing Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World, like one of the old 2D games.
Yeah,
2D is a lot easier to deal with than 3D.
Yeah. And
but like it, I remember like trying to get that to run, and it started working, and then it fell into a pit. And then, like, for hours, it kept falling into the same pit.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources to train a neural network.
Right. Yeah. The thing is, I feel like, I mean, at least this is true of Rocket League machine learning. It could train like way faster than any human, like, because it could comprehend way faster. Like, it could simulate a video game like way faster, like, than we could ever comprehend, right? So it's played. So, like, I think the Rocket League bot, machine learning Rocket League bot, that's better than every hard coded bot, has like probably plays the game of Rocket League like, I don't know, 1,000 times a second. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
way faster than any human could ever comprehend. And I think that's how most AI of any kind gets trained.
I think, don't they get trained playing like faster,
AI.
like don't they get like learn how to play going like faster than
Yeah.
normal games? Maybe
But
something
anyway,
like
that would make sense. Like faster than actually like the frame rate, so you can't watch it
it's
because
like
it's going too fast to watch.
it goes like too fast to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you tried watching it, it wouldn't make any sense to you because it's way too fast. It's,
Yeah.
But yeah, all this is very fascinating, but I feel like we need to start. I want to start getting into the second stage of this discussion stream, where we talk about how AI affects artists specifically. Because that's in the title, how AI can affect artists, good or bad. And
I'm gonna tell you just like right up front, I don't have answers. I just have questions, but I mean, if we actually
I have questions, I have answers, I have a lot of. I don't know everything, but I have a few bullets that I'd like. I have a few predictions, a few fears, based on based on my understanding of the landscape, which I'll admit is limited because I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm not a programmer. I don't pretend to be one. All I know is my brother, who's a programmer, is scared shitless about this, and doesn't. I asked him if he wanted to join, but he didn't want to join just because he doesn't like thinking about it. But yeah, he was introduced to ChatGPT, and I don't know, like other stuff, like, I don't know. He's afraid, so, and he knows more about, I don't know. But anyway, let me get back into the thing. So I'm gonna read these bullets here.
I'm just gonna say, just because he knows about programming doesn't mean he understands what he understands much about neural networks or machine learning.
True. But I know he's a smart guy. Okay. Okay, so, and this is just like a general thing for artists and creatives. Let me read this bullet. Yeah. One thing that I've been kind of worried about, and I know this is a potential problem. Not even a potential problem. I've heard like news stories or just even video documentaries on YouTube talking about AI in this manner, but like the fear of AI replacing creative freelancers, writers, voice actors, etc. And one thing I would like to bring up in that regard is like artists, like here's one thing I want to bring up. I don't think AI will ever replace artists because that is impossible. That's impossible. Like there will always be a market for music, whatever it is, music, art, whatever kind of art you make, but we're talking about music because we're all musicians here. There will always be a market for music, for music, in the context of a consumer, a listener, a passive,
it needs that human like element.
A passive customer enjoying your music, right? What I feel like is in danger is the potential for for AI to replace work for hire jobs where humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a reasonable sort of thing to worry about.
Yeah.
And also, I have the same sort of feeling for different like for different things that have nothing to do with AI that have been around years before machine learning neural network applications.
Yeah, technology's replaced a fuck ton of jobs. Yeah,
like
it's true.
I mean, I've got you guys know about Contact, right?
About what was that?
Contact, Native Instruments Contact sampler.
Yeah, it's that sounds familiar. Yeah, Contact.
Yeah, it's like an industry standard kind of like really nice sampler VST. I actually have Native Instruments Complete, and I mean there's several different programs like banks. I mean like sample banks, for specifically I'm thinking about the ones for like quote unquote exotic instruments here in the West. Yeah, like things for instruments from India,
Like the
West
world
Africa,
type, like,
Balinese gamelan,
Yeah.
There's still people out there who literally play those instruments,
right,
and are work for hire musicians. So I mean, I mean, like I can imagine how these these sample banks would be good for like, say, a composer who's like going to actually eventually hire one of these musicians for hire, to use
that's the thing.
this sample
samplers in general, just like you don't need to use.
You see where I'm
you
going.
You don't need like. I mean, I in my like. I mean, even then, like you probably don't need to use. You don't have to play guitar or hire a guitarist. If you want to be a producer and have guitar in your songs.
Yeah.
Like,
right, and I mean that, like, on the one hand, that kind of lowers the bar to entry. Like if someone wants to make a song, they don't necessarily need to have the money to hire someone who plays X or Y instrument. But on the other hand, they don't necessarily need to have the money to hire someone who plays X or Y instrument.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, for a while, I was really interested in becoming a voice actor on Fiverr or fucking what's the other thing? Casting Call Club. And now I'm like, it's still AI text to speech. Well, not text to speech. AI voice changers still have a way to go, but they're like, I don't know if you've seen my my fucking Squidward cover of Projecting, my song Projecting.
Yeah, bro.
Oh wow. No, I haven't seen that, but I gotta.
Okay, I'm gonna send the link here. Fuck. But yeah, basically that song I used a open source fucking GitHub Google collab singing artificial intelligence on that
Hey, that's interesting. I might want the link to that later.
yeah, I could send you the link to there's a whole ass server community who makes these like fucking voices from random ass fucking characters.
That's crazy.
Oh, is it
bro.
UberDuck?
What? It's AI
Is it
Hub.
UberDuck?
It's called AI Hub.
Oh, okay.
I sent the link to the music video. The Squidward's vocals are actually my vocals, but the AI basically turned my voice into Squidward's voice, and it sounds really good, and this is, as far as I'm aware, the first AI that matches pitch. Like there's been a lot there's some AI deep learning artificial intelligence that is a voice changer. Like I have other things that do that, but this is like the first one that I've ever seen like that can actually like match your pitch and make it sing. Like this is the first thing that I've seen that is for singing and not voice.
Okay.
Not voice conversion.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Amanda, you know, she's one of the people who makes like vocal synthesizer covers, and
Right.
specifically she makes Microsoft Sam sing.
Oh,
And
okay,
she's been
yeah.
showing me some stuff. She's been showing me some stuff she's done regarding like actually taking vocals from I think she was initially using Synth V, which I think that's got some sort of like machine learning stuff under the hood.
I sincerely
but
think it does, potentially, because I was always wondering, like, how the fuck is Synth V this good? But anyway, sorry, continue.
Hang on, can you not use it without the internet?
What?
Test if you can't use Synth V without the internet, because if you can't use it without the internet, that probably means that there is some sort of machine learning thing going on. Because
Could it not be on my
honestly,
computer? Could it not be on my computer?
the thing is, for like neural networks and a lot of those things,
I
They
guess it's pretty
are-
fucking big, huh?
yes, they're big and they require a lot of like processing power.
That's
Which
gonna
is why
change.
they
That's
tend
gonna
to run-
change.
They tend to run on GPUs
Mm.
rather than just CPUs.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll see if it's machine learning. But like you
But
said,
yeah, she basically takes the output from Synth V which has like very relatively natural vocal inflection.
Oh yeah.
And then uses some sort of neural network program to basically turn it into Microsoft Sam's voice. Because I'm assuming that's because
No.
there's like a database of like
dude.
recorded syllables that Microsoft Sam has made. And really what the machine learning is doing here is mapping the input audio to similar sounding voice bank audio.
Yeah, dude, I should show you. I need to invite you guys to the AI hub, because there's a fucking Hatsune Miku AI voice, which is crazy for me to think about, because theoretically I could use Vocaloid and then just like superimpose Hatsune Miku's AI voice over, I don't know, fucking Cyber Diva. Without buying Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I haven't done that, but I totally could.
Yeah.
But yeah. And in general, like, there's also, I so wish Abstract and Preem could have been here, because both of them, like, I'm still relatively new to using AI for my music, and I feel like that's a pivotal part I wanted to talk about in this live stream, was how AI can be used as a tool to serve artists, and how AI can also be, and the positive part about how AI can be used as a tool to serve artists, as well as the negatives about how AI could be potentially used to replace artists in certain fields of business. That's the bad side. Like the good and the bad. I feel like both are happening at the same time.
Yeah. I think one negative for sure was like,
Mhm.
I feel like, say someone's programming like their own game, with all these new with all these new AI, like they could honestly just like ask the AI to make like a certain vibe of like track to their game that they want for like a level or something.
I actually have a
and they could use that
Yeah.
instead of like an artist. So maybe like for music that people would actually listen to, it like AI probably honestly definitely couldn't replace that.
No, of course
But like
not.
for something like a game level or something, like I feel like that's definitely something that could happen.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I used to work at Kroger, and some of the music created for mass consumption it's just so bad that I kind of feel like AI would be a improvement over it.
You mean like fucking mainstream bought out record labels, that kind of shit?
Like Memories by Maroon 5, the one where Adam Levine just poorly, like mediocrely plays Pachelbel's cannons, like and like it's just him being sad with a piano playing like a progression any 7th grader could play. Probably even younger kids. I mean, I didn't start.
That's the thing.
Really
like
kept up with piano lessons.
Like I feel
it's
and here's another
so mediocre, and it feels like it was made by executives who are like, hey, people like Pachelbel's Canon, people like Maroon 5, and then it's just Adam Levine with the piano, and it doesn't even have any of the other members of Maroon 5 who can actually play.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that particular song from a Maroon 5. I've listened to Maroon 5.
Yeah, you have. If you've ever been to a grocery store,
maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I have.
Bro,
it's not ringing a bell for me right now, but I'm sure if you played it, I'd recognize it. But
bro, I haven't heard that song in a minute.
But yeah, just like, and like I feel like in general, like AI has the potential to be really, really cool. It's just that capitalism exists, you know?
Yeah, you got it there.
And like it's so interesting that you said that, Digital Love, because one of the bullets on my phone is this. One artist's means are another artist's end. Someone uses AI tools to do things they needed a human to do before, and don't notice it until they see their own art medium being used by an AI tool. You use AI in your music. You like what you said. Literally, I had the exact same example. You use AI. You use AI in your music, and game devs use AI music in their games.
Yeah, bro, legit.
It's just like
I'm gonna be real here.
Yeah.
I would love to train a neural network on my music and like my music alone and just see what comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing though. That's the thing though. Like that's so cool, but you know that you have to be careful with that kind of mindset in capitalism, cuz like suppose you're like, I don't know, like you don't want people to exploit, like cuz of like, for this not my music specifically, but I was interested in cloning my voice. I did clone my voice on 11 Labs.
Oh yeah, bro.
That text to speech thing that was actually used in my intro.
Yeah.
That I've also been using for my audiobooks, cuz I am also I'm a writer as well as a musician. But yeah, like that kind of thing I'm fascinated by, but it's like at the same time, if I was bigger and someone wanted a piece of me, like, like suddenly they wouldn't need me. They could just take a piece of me that's just as good, except without paying me,
Yeah, and I'm gonna call myself out here. One time I did that with Lil Jon. I haven't released the song yet, but I just got the UberDuck AI of Lil Jon to go, all the white guys in the club, put your hands up!
Okay, but the thing is, like, we're all guilty. If we use AI, we all have blood on our hands to some degree, because it's like,
It's true.
because like, you know, I could have, for this Squidward song, I mean, I never would have made it if it weren't for
I'm
this
gonna be
AI
honest.
thing.
I have beaten myself up over this before.
Hey, you know what? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism or creation under capitalism. But like,
Yeah, bro.
and that's not new. But like, what I was saying is like the Squidward thing, like, putting aside the fact that I never would have made it if it weren't for this AI, I could have hired somebody, a Squidward voice actor, to sing this for me, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
And even with fucking Vocaloid or Synth V, especially Synth V, like, I could have hired so many vocalists to sing for my songs. Synth V may or may not be AI, but it's the same thing.
Right.
At least,
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen like Vocaloid and stuff like that actually pitched to musicians as something to make a
Yes.
scratch track with, so that you could send this to an actual musician and they'd be able to hear it and know, like, okay, the melody goes this way. Here's how I should sing the words. And I mean that's useful.
That's so.
And I mean that.
So like, like a graph to teach people how to sing the certain words. You mean?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny that you say that. I'm gonna send a. I don't know if Abstract would appreciate me sending this, but I actually used Vocaloid for that exact purpose, with helping Abstract sing his hook, because he asked for my help on for singing the hook. Like, he's a rapper. He doesn't really sing he doesn't really
Sure.
sing much. But and so like I was walking him through the process, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to send him a graph using Vocaloid. And I have these
Gotcha.
images with syllables and the notes. Unfortunately, Vocaloid doesn't like tell you which notes or key notes you're using, so I had to add that manually. So I sent him these, as well as
Oh wow.
this. I'm not gonna play it for you because, but well, I don't know if he'd want me to. I mean, you guys can play.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I sent him these graphs, and like, it's surprisingly helpful, because it's like, it tells you which syllables need, like, what it tells you which syllables hit which notes, if you're like, and I also sent in a video of
Oh, wow.
the playhead going through, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because I used Vocaloid a day ago for that exact purpose.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I just watched the video. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, I think really what it comes down to, this honestly reminds me of the same kind of like is this a brave new world of creation, or is this something that's going to fuck over working musicians? I feel like we've already had this conversation with samplers, and then before that with synthesizers, drum machines.
Dude, we've had this conversation.
That kind of thing.
We've had this conversation a million times for a million subjects and problems, right? Like as old as time itself, when humans created pieces of technology, it's always going to replace something, right? It's always going to replace somebody's livelihood, right? That's as old as time itself. Well, as old as humans.
I mean, like, if you made music with like completely acoustic instruments, I guess that's an ethical use of technology. But if you're gonna do that, then you're just probably gonna turn into a folk punk band. And there's only like 3 good folk punk bands, and there aren't any more. And if you start one, you're probably not.
Wait. What folk punk? You listen to folk punk? What folk
You've
punk
never
bands?
You've never heard of?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard of folk punk. I want to know what bands you listen to.
I mean, I like a JJ. I really like the Mountain Goats. Because I think John Darnielle is like really good at telling a story through his lyrics. I honestly really love the song.
My introduction.
Sorry.
My introduction to. Go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I really like the song "The Best Ever Death Metal Band Out of Denton."
Yeah, my introduction to folk punk was Days and Days, and then I was introduced to Harley Poe.
Sure. Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah.
The it's just maybe this is my own personal hang up, but there's some people I knew in high school who were like, the only real music is like the Beatles and things played with real
Oh my God.
instruments. I'm like,
Yeah.
buddy, you're my age. And like it's I just don't I honestly really don't like the idea that any instrument or method of making music is better than another.
Sure. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, that doesn't mean that no music is better than any other music. Like I feel like a lot of what people are worried about is AI being used to churn out just soulless, garbage, music that basically irritates people and nothing else while they're trying to work. But I mean, we're already doing that. We don't need AI for it. I mean, like, what it does is it makes it faster to churn out more of this garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing,
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't have to be that.
No,
there's
exactly.
so many other ways to use it. There are ways. I believe there are ways to use it that basically kind of give it its own personality as an artistic medium. Like there were ways to use samplers that did that, or there are ways to use synthesizers that did that.
using it as a tool.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I'm into. That's what I'm and there's some Brian Eno quote. I don't know the exact words, but it's basically like the ugliness of X or Y medium will eventually be prized. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of been right about that.
Kind of like
think
how
about,
chiptune. Kind of like how chiptune became a
Chiptune.
genre because
or
that was the
vinyl
limit.
crackle.
Yeah. Like those
Yeah.
were the
Vinyl
technological limits of the
crackle,
time.
tape distortion.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
those are all from technological limitations.
Yeah, and
and
they became
I've discovered-
charming as fuck and vintage and their own style.
And I've discovered if you push like neural networks and stuff to their limits, they get this really like silly, chaotic kind of vibe going.
Yo,
with them.
speaking of silly and chaotic, or just like the things that Rich Ab Preem and Abstract have been getting into when it comes to visual AI specifically is this website called Kyber. This was really when this is like the number one AI like they use Abstract and Rich Ab Preem. I want to send in several examples, like Abstract's latest lyric video, where he uses this like generative video AI website called Kyber, like I mentioned. You guys can
Crazy, man.
watch it. But it basically, I also used it for the intro of this live stream. But it samples one image and then you give it a prompt and an audio to match it, and yeah, and of course Abstract also threw in his own video editing to complement it. But yeah, it's like it's super trippy. It's just like the closest thing is like it feels like a psychedelic drug trip, but it's fucking awesome, you know? And it's just like
Yeah,
it makes
like
you
see, like that's kind of the thing. Like I mean, I'd love to make a music video, but that would involve hiring a director and or an animator and like really just a bunch of people and waiting for however long for them to make it. Or I could do something like this. And is this going to give me the same result as hiring an actual person would? I would argue no. It gives me a different kind of result.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting in its own right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I'm gonna play it down here, just in the background.
There's so like my favorite artist ever,
check him out.
Palfu. He Palfu released this music video. It's called Shades of Blue. It's amazing. The song's amazing, and he basically has like this AI thing go over their video that they recorded and make it all like it like looks amazing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the way they did it.
I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, is awesome. And I also have kind of something similar here that I was just gonna send. I don't know if it would copyright the audio because it's from like a band, Keegan, for you. I don't think you could play it on stream. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's like that similar vibe. You could play the video but like mute the audio, and you can see how it like it just looks really cool how it like goes around the like band artists and everything. Like it just completely like changes the whole vibe of.
Oh yeah, is it one of those? Is it one of those
video.
things where it's like a video to video thing where they?
Yeah, it's like it's a video thing of like Polyphia playing God. I want to say is the song. I can't remember for sure, but
I've
it's
seen
like,
that shit. Hang on, let me mute that. Mute,
Is it one of those things that makes like eyes and animal faces and that kind of thing?
kind of. It's hard to explain. Like if Keegan, or you can check out the TikTok thing that I sent.
Here,
but
I'll play it on stream. Let me get into the other fucking.
hopefully it doesn't like copyright, but you can
I'm
always
gonna
mute
mute
the
it.
audio.
I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna mute it.
I bet.
Here we go. I'm playing it. Yeah, this is what I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, this is dope as fuck. I've seen TikToks like this. It's
Yeah, bro, that's like the craziest thing.
I think
to
I
me
might have
is that
actually.
looks like dope.
I think I might have actually seen this exact thing. That's so cool.
It's
though.
insane.
That's wild.
Man. It's insane, and because it's like off of like the actual video, it's like it doesn't mess up too bad on like,
No,
a lot of it. It looks like really dope.
And this is the kind of shit I want to use in my music videos. That's what I'm saying. Like this is how AI.
Honestly, I think this is cool. It's like I mean, like for the sake of argument, you could like hire someone to rotoscope it. But I doubt they would make something that turns out looking like this.
Yeah,
it's kind of its own thing. It's something different than what a human would create.
Exactly,
That
so
is
true.
what interests me.
You know what's like so sick about that video? My favorite part is what Keegan's playing. It like passed a second ago. It like there's this one part where he he plays these chords, like he strums it, and it kind of turns like away from them into the like background, and it like makes it like a whole like island, like ocean part, and it just looks crazy, like how it can make up that stuff just from like the camera movement. It's insane. Yeah,
it's crazy, dude. It's so cool. Like just like man, that's AI. That's AI when it's serving us.
Yeah, and I think I know there's some creative projects that I really like that have kind of explored it too. I'm pretty sure there was a very similar sort of like 15-30 second scene with this sort of AI filter in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the TV series.
Yes.
And
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Also when I think like right at like when Dolly 3 or something was in beta, Alan Resnick made a video just by generating an image, putting that image back into Dolly, generating a similar image, and then just kind of looping through that.
Whoa, hang on, I'm gonna
actually
watch this.
he made a couple. I think they're both on Twitter.
Yeah.
But this is the Powfu video that like I originally saw that was awesome. Like, it's crazy how they utilized it.
Gotcha. Is this the part where it has the cool guitar solo with the changing artificial?
No, this is another whole video.
Oh, but does it use
does
it use AI? Oh shit.
Yeah, it does. You'll see it like completely shifts. It's crazy. Yeah, because Powfu's like my favorite artist, and I saw the music video like right when it dropped, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And like,
hey,
it completely like
just
shows,
sorry,
like,
just letting you know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Sorry.
No worries.
Go on. Talk about what
you good.
No worries, bro.
It's crazy the way they use AI in this. The beginning intro is like a TV part, but then they go into this total like AI section with like Rose Boy and Powfu, and it like completely morphs and stuff. Like you'll see, it looks so sick. Like it's crazy.
Dude, yeah,
and they
that's
use
the
it,
kind
like,
of shit
perfectly
I
in the
want to
video.
use in my music videos. Like visual AI,
bro.
you can't go wrong with visual AI. It doesn't infringe on any of the music creating process. But like
It does.
the thing is, like I'm not even against AI that will help me as a tool, like an AI plugin, like a deep learning AI
Yeah,
plugin.
exactly.
Like one thing I've often wanted to talk about. I think this is another bullet. I'll bring it up again for Alex when he comes back. But yeah, like another bullet I wanted to see, like AI, like AI as a tool for artists, like I already said, but using AI kind of like as Grammarly, but for mixing and mastering. So,
Ooh, yeah.
like, I'm not the greatest mixer. I'm nowhere near it's nowhere near as intuitive for me as pitch recognition and recognizing when things are discordant and or offbeat.
Yeah.
That has been kind of ingrained into me. Like, I kind of know when that happens. Like, I don't know. I'm just very sensitive to that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
never
exactly.
been. I kind of had to learn how to get sensitive to mixing and how to fix that shit. You know.
Yeah, bro.
That
Same
did
here, bro.
not come,
I
that
feel
does
that.
not come naturally to me at all.
Nope. Yeah, bro.
And
Same here. I had to learn, bro.
even though I've probably gotten better over time, it would be
Mhm.
cool as fuck to have an AI like scan my entire project on FL Studio and tell me, like, maybe I could give it like a general idea of what I'm going for, right?
Oh,
Like
like a prompt of what you're
a
going
prompt,
for.
like
Yeah.
a prompt of the genre of what the kind of vibe I'm going for, right?
Yeah, like
Um,
loud, quiet, like
yeah,
jazz, whatever.
and instead
Yeah.
of like going behind the scenes, going behind your back and using the you know, doing all that shit for you, it can like scan
Recommend.
your project. Yeah, it'll scan your project, kind of like how words get highlighted if they're grammatically incorrect or
Yeah.
typos.
Oh.
This AI could like point out certain knobs and buttons you press on certain plugins, recommend filter plugins to add, recommend you turn things down or turn things up.
Yeah, that would be dope.
On the compression, add more compression, add less compression, do whatever you need to do to make it to maximize the vibe you're going for.
Yeah.
Like
The
that
mix
would
for like
be
whatever.
cool as fuck. Hey, Alex, are you back?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
I don't,
yo, that would be awesome,
I'm
though,
just
bro.
thinking about this. I uh, I see where it's coming from. And
watching
I'm not
music
saying
video?
I wouldn't.
Oh, are you
No, I mean
responding
I'm
to what I'm
talking
saying?
about the
Got it.
the mixing plugin.
Yeah, this isn't something that exists as far as I'm aware. This is just something that would be cool, in my opinion. That I
I
think
feel
could
like there's
exist.
things that claim they are this. They're probably not that great.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out.
I mean, there's already AI mastering services.
Oh,
Right,
that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Dude.
so like, I see, like this. I mean, I can imagine where that's coming from,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying it would necessarily be a bad idea. I feel like it might be good at getting one's mix to maybe a baseline kind of standard.
Yeah, like an AI mix tutor of sorts. Like if you don't feel confident, or if you want to learn more about mixing, or if you don't like your mix, but you want to, you don't know exactly how to fix it, it would be kind of cool to have like this artificial intelligence tell you, but not order you, not fix it by itself, but like give you suggestions like Grammarly would for your.
But I
writing.
mean, the thing is, I can't imagine that always being necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have either of you listened to anything that Burial has made?
I don't believe so.
No.
Oh, you both should listen to the album Untrue by Burial. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
Burial is a sort of underground UK dubstep producer who was making dubstep like before it, like way before Skrillex, like before it got big at all. It had an entirely different vibe then. It was more like really kind of like atmospheric and sort of
like
just
low end LFO type shit.
Low LFO
instead of
polyrhythmic, like the polyrhythms are very important in Burial's
instead of
music.
like the like the crazy
it's not punching you in the face. It's it's just kind of like bumping into you a bit. So like
whoa pins and needles.
The thing about Burial is he makes all of his music in, I think, Cool Edit, which is like an early aughts, like it's basically Audacity. So there's no grid, there's no like quantization or anything. He just kind of drops, the kick, snare, hat samples wherever they feel right to him. And so you get this like really kind of organic sort of electronic music made from samples of like he actually rips a lot of samples from video games like Metal Gear Solid, like I
Cool.
think
Yeah,
what's
sick.
it called? Yeah, Archangel, the second track on Untrue.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the string pad in it came from a Metal Gear Solid cutscene or something.
Yeah, that's sick.
And
Damn.
and then like most of the like, his drums are very kind of and a lot of them are like sounds from video games, like colliding with a crate
Right.
or like a shotgun shell falling on the floor.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
He's just like putting those all together, and it turns into like this very like sort of it's almost kind of like, if I don't know if either of you have seen the group Stomp.
I've not.
I have not either.
They're kind of, I mean, they're sort of like Blue Man Group. They're
Oh,
a
Blue
dance
Man Group.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard of
well,
Blue Man
Stomp,
Group.
Sure, yeah. Stomp
Yeah,
are
me too.
kind of similar. They're like a dance troupe that sort of,
Hmm.
and I'll have to send you like their movie. They have like a whole like hour or hour and a half long movie. It's on YouTube. But
Oh, sick.
really, their whole thing is that they go around and dance with things like like giant boxes or like trash can lids, little bits of rubber pipe, and they just kind of like bang them around together. Oh, there's actually a really nice video of them with the Harlem Globetrotters, where they're all like just basically making a beat with nothing but basketballs.
Yo,
So, like,
that's
so-
dope as
Like
fuck.
like
That's
if you
crazy.
like in PE class, that's all I'd ever do with a basketball. It's just
Bro, that's so bad. You know what I'd be doing sometimes when I'm like outside playing basketball is I'll have like a song going, I'll like match the beat with the basketball for fun.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
I've been
like
doing that
you
all the
fucking
time.
like you dribble the basketball in time with a beat.
Yeah, like on beat.
Nice.
Okay,
fun, bro.
I'm two digressions in, so but yeah, Burial kind of has that sort of vibe, both because like the like the not quite quantized on perfect time, and because they're very like organic acoustic sounds of like Foley kind of things. And
Yeah.
I mean, like if you went and quantized all of Burial's beats to a grid, like that would completely ruin the vibe. And I feel like any sort of AI to make any AI tool to make music quote unquote better would kind of end up in the same kind of realm as quantization. Like some people would use it a lot. Some people wouldn't want to use it at all.
No,
Some people like
Yeah.
I've got a Machine Mark III here, and one of the buttons on it is quantized 50%, which means you just nudge the things like halfway closer to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like this AI, like first of all, I was speaking when I was thinking about this AI, like I wasn't really thinking about having it help with rhythm or anything. If you already have a DAW that could do that,
Right.
I was thinking more like mixing and mastering, that kind of thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the bane of my
right.
existence, right? Like I would use
Yeah.
that.
No, yeah, I gotcha, but also I would argue that you don't always need that even for mixing, because like I mean, especially if you're like kind of going for some sort of retro
Sure.
sort of thing, like I
Yeah,
mean,
like sometimes I
again,
take advantage.
if you
Yeah,
like
I use a
if
lot
you
of
put yeah, go ahead.
like I know I don't have the perfect mix, and many times I use that to my advantage, and I make genres that don't require a perfect mix, like a perfect mix, like
Mhm.
a mix that's hard to master, I guess, pun not intended. But like hyperpop, fucking the distort, like
Oh,
huge
excellent.
fucking distortion, like like
Yeah.
just like unabashedly loud and just fucking grating to some
Yeah,
people, like that kind of shit.
I
That's
think that's what
easy.
I'm saying. You know, sometimes you don't need to smooth it out. You know,
No.
sometimes, you know, you just kind of
But having
like
the ability
sometimes you
to.
get a better sound when you go by ear instead of, you know, what some kind of algorithm says, "Oh yeah, this is what you'll like."
No, for
Yeah,
sure,
bro.
for sure. There are definitely times where I
100%.
probably
And
won't need it. But
For another thing, who knows whether that is actually the optimal mixing thing? Because when you're training a neural network, sometimes you get into this dip. I mean, I think I watched a video about this. I don't know like all the technical terms, but I mean, when you're training a neural network, sometimes you kind of fall into a dip that you can't get out of. That like it's like a local minimum, I think is what they call it. Which is like it's not the optimal solution. It's just one that the math says might be. And
Right.
you know, if you know I guess in theory the problem is, you know, if it dips into that, that means you haven't trained it enough. But I mean, you
Yeah.
know, when if you start training, you know, you get into like fucking exponential time. So I kind
Sure.
of feel like I'm not super
And it'll always get
worried.
better.
Yeah, well, I mean,
This
actually,
theoretical
I
thing,
mean,
this theoretical thing that doesn't, this theoretical model that I don't know if even exists or not. This is a very specific thing I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Well, the thing that I'm trying to say is that after, you know, a certain point, if you know you're training a neural network,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel free to call me out on this in the comments if you're like an actual neural network researcher.
Mm-hmm.
But from like the limited amount that I know, neural network training is kind of just brute forcing solutions. And I mean, sometimes, you know, you brute force a ton of solutions and they're all like, yeah, this is the best solution. But it's honestly, you know, not, because you haven't trained it for long enough and it hasn't gotten to the better solution yet.
Right.
Like remember when I was talking about the Super Mario World AI kept falling into the same pit?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like, you know, how would you prevent it from getting stuck in a rut like that? And I mean, I guess that's what, you know, people who you know, program and train neural networks, you know, professionally would do. But then that's also kind of, you know, up to their own, you know, personal experience in the case of a mixing thing. You know, it's like if someone's training a neural network, you know, they'd play it on whatever system they have and be like, "Oh, this sounds like a good mix." And then eventually they ship the product, but they don't have every speaker in the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
it
yeah.
may sound like shit on a lot of systems they don't have, which means they have to go back and train it some more, and they have no idea how long it's going to take to get on something that sounds good again.
No, yeah. The people who would have to train this particular model would have to have a lot of different listening things at their disposal. Like they would have to be able to listen to this song, to listen to their end result in a lot of different ways before they would. I mean, obviously the product would have to be good, right? Like in order to train it well. That goes without saying. But I feel like
well, I mean, like, eventually, I think the point I'm trying to make here is, eventually you run into, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time, you run into a point of diminishing returns. And so you're like, you know, well, we can either keep training this or we can ship it as a product with a mix that's good enough.
yeah.
And, you know, capitalists, you know, they want to make the bottom line, so they ship it with a product that's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We don't want, like, that's the thing. I guess what you're arguing is like we don't want to become like necessarily dependent, right? On
Right.
yeah.
Right. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of, you know, people who are freaking out about AI are scared we'll become creatively dependent on it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am not really scared of that because, for everything that a neural network makes that's awesome, there's like several more things that makes that suck. And that's just the nature of the beast.
It is that.
That's
Yeah,
why,
yeah. Trial
like-
and error. Trial and error.
Yeah, that's why, like, when you're doing a neural network image generator, you get like 4 images at a time instead of just one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're
Because
all
sometimes
trying
you find that one
different
image.
possibilities.
Exactly.
And just kind of hoping that one of them is better than the others.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I would really love to make this into a larger series, the AI deep dive. Like maybe not like
Yeah.
maybe not like
I would love to have like a whole ass round table with like a bunch of people.
Dude, fuck yeah. Dude, I want next time we do this, and because I've already decided at the moment I realized Abstract couldn't make it, I already decided that there has to be a next time because I know Abstract
yeah.
had a lot to say. I know he, along with Rich Av Preem, who is basically not a part of this, is kind of distanced himself from the community. I know Abstract is actually like someone who uses AI a lot, specifically the visual AI Kyber, and he has a lot of opinions about how AI should be
Kyber,
used
alright.
as a musician.
Okay.
And like I really think he would have had a lot of points and things to bring up, a lot of he's very he's fairly
I would
opinionated on
love
that.
to talk to him. I would love to talk to him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Like because I really think Abstract could have brought up a lot of the examples of like how AI could benefit artists versus like the things that we ought to do as artists to maximize the benefits when it comes to artificial intelligence versus like the negatives, right?
Right. Is the technology liberatory or is it, suppressive?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
there's always been a lot of discourse about that,
Yeah.
like especially computers. The chip speech voice Rotten ST, right?
Rotten ST, yeah.
Well, his whole vibe was
Das
kind of
Boot.
inspired by Atari Teenage Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like very, very left-wing anarchist
Mhm.
in their politics, and they were some of the first people to start both using computers for music and just kind of being critical of computers in general. And also, if you want more stuff like that, I've told you about Laurie Anderson, right?
Yes. I am
Yeah,
now
you gotta watch Home of the Brave. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. It's like a beautiful kind of like circus of technology with themes of like, oh, this might be, something we ought to worry about,
Right.
or even not
Yeah.
that. Like Laurie Anderson, one of her quotes is one I think about a lot.
Mhm.
She says she's not trying to make a point with her art. She said, if I had a point I was trying to make, I'd write it on a piece of paper and hand it out to people on a street corner. Because art is not necessarily about making a point. Because, like, honestly, you've probably, I, for one, have seen a lot of bad art that's like trying to make a point,
Yeah.
it's like one of those memes on Facebook.
No,
that's
yeah.
like just some boomer drawing a bunch of people staring at their phones
Yeah.
as they walk directly into a meat grinder, and it's like,
Yeah.
phone's bad. It doesn't even address the damn issue.
Yeah, it reminds me of that other fucking boomer comic where it's like, I also have a small thing that I don't remember the exact thing, but I also have a device that a small device that allows me to access.
It's
every
called a book.
It's called a library card. That's what it was. That's what it was. A library card.
That just makes me upset because honestly, I fucking love libraries. I love libraries so much.
Based as fuck.
Like seriously, like I have just straight up checked out a bunch of like, new age and hypnosis and religious CDs from my public library because God knows I'm not buying Joel Osteen. But I've I literally just rented a bunch of those and then ripped the files to my computer in order to have things that I can sample.
That's dope.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
I know one CD is like the best of Enya or something, and that is fucking killer. Okay, seriously, sample Enya in your tracks. I'm not even joking. There is a reason why the Fugees sampled her.
Mm.
Hey.
I personally refrain from sampling just because I'm afraid of copyright. But yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Again, that's another thing I've been kind of uncomfortable about, especially with like Splice. I mean, generally with Splice, I mean, I'm just grabbing like drum hits and kind of shit like that. But I keep hearing about people who are getting copyright strikes for using some Splice sample that some other person used, and it's
Mhm.
not even like the other person's trying to sue them. It's just YouTube's algorithm is like, this track got uploaded first, so you gotta pay them.
Yeah.
Bro.
See,
Yeah.
that is something that people should be worried about AI about. Like
True.
false copyright strikes. I have had that. One time I got like I downloaded a MIDI of one of Bach's Brandenburg concertos, and like this is a public domain work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry that I keep burping.
I
yeah.
didn't notice. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. This is a public domain work, but so like I took this MIDI, and every channel of it, I send it to an instance of Chip Speech on Burt Gotrax's voice saying "P is stored in the balls."
Yes. Wait, you did that? You did that? Fuck yeah.
Yes, I did.
I
It's
also
like the
did.
intro. It's the intro of one of the terrible streams I did of Baldi's Basics.
P is
Um,
stored in the balls and the balls.
P is
Stored in the balls and the balls.
Woo!
So yeah,
I did a Chip Speech
like,
cover of that too.
I
I
made
remember
that.
that.
So it's just like a whole, P is stored in the balls, P is stored in the balls, P is stored. It's just like,
Oh,
and I got copyright claimed
fuck.
for some
Oh,
recording
fucking hell.
of some orchestra playing
Oh
one of
my God.
the same concerto by Bach.
A
And
strike?
I actually contested that claim. I wrote, "This is a public domain work. I have Ableton Live open on stream, so you can see that I am routing the MIDI to a speech synthesizer, uttering the phrase, P is stored in the balls."
Oh my gosh.
And I got it rescinded.
Good for you. Jesus Christ.
I made somebody at
Damn,
YouTube
bro.
read the phrase, P is stored in the balls,
Stick it to the man.
and they uncopyright claimed me.
That's a massive W. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking great.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that is the kind of thing that we should be worried about AI about.
Yeah.
AI sort of like, the thing is, AI does whatever you tell it to do.
Mhm.
Kind of like computers in general. It's just
Right.
AI sort of finds an algorithm that makes it work.
Right.
Whether it works well or not, who knows?
Right.
But AI finds an algorithm that makes it work. And so, if you're a musician using an AI to generate, weird sounds to sample,
Mhm.
then it's a machine that generates samples.
Right.
But if you're, some greedy ass record label trying to find random people on YouTube to copyright strike so you can get more money,
Oh, it's so stupid.
then
Yeah.
that's what it does.
Yep.
Damn.
And so, like, I cannot feel like neural networks and machine learning and all that kind of shit, they have, I can't feel like they have any inherent morality. It all depends, on sort of, what you tell them to do. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like if someone trains a neural network to do something shitty, I think it's totally, it's totally a good thing for someone to be able to sue.
Yeah,
But
and like,
the whole thing is not enough people have money for lawsuits,
mhm.
and there are corporations like Disney who have enough money to turn themselves into the victim and then sue, tiny little people doing fucking nothing.
Right, yeah. God, that reminds me, like, there's, if I had fucking, because there's, like, AI voices of, like, I don't know, fucking Disney characters, right? Like,
Mhm.
there's, in AI Hub, kind of like the Squidward thing I showed you. There's
Yeah.
also, like,
Yeah, Viacom's
Goofy.
a whole
There's also-
other thing.
there's also, like,
they
Goofy.
also sue a lot.
There's also Goofy and Donald Duck. If I had chosen any of those, like, I don't think Disney would have come for me, but there's a higher likelihood they could have, Like,
Yeah. That said, I wonder if they've ever come after Prosd.
I don't know. And just in general, I don't know if you've seen that.
You know who Prosd is, right?
uh,
He's that voice actor who did Goofy singing "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence.
Yeah.
So like he's not using an AI. He's just doing the voice.
Yeah. Dude, that's the thing. It's gonna make, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. Because, like, it's like, I could do a pretty decent Squidward impression. Not the perfect one, but, like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'm not a perfect, it's not perfect, but,
He is stored in the balls.
no, fuck, I can't do it.
He
was
is
good for
stored in
that.
the balls.
P is stored in the balls, SpongeBob. I don't know.
SpongeBob. P
SpongeBob.
is stored in the balls.
P is stored in the balls, SpongeBob.
I love how this is where we've taken
that
this
was fire.
extremely serious discussion about
Yeah,
the future.
I know. I think it's just because, God. I don't know if it's just because I have undiagnosed ADHD, and I feel like maybe you do too.
Probably.
Like, maybe that's why. I don't know. Regardless.
That's-
I kind of get the feeling that nobody here is neurotypical.
Yeah, maybe. That's the thing too. Like,
I mean, I don't know you, Digital Love. You may be neurotypical.
What does that
but,
mean? I'm a little slow, so.
Neurotypical means
You
quote
don't-
unquote
you're not.
mentally normal. You don't have something like autism or ADHD or OCD or depression or anxiety.
I definitely-
honestly, nobody is neurotypical.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
bro,
Like, I feel like
definitely not.
neurotypicality doesn't exist because every brain is different, and diagnoses are just like lazy, arbitrary things that we use to define people that are hopelessly complex beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I've got a friend. I told him I was taking Lexapro, and he was like, "Oh, I don't envy you at all," but it's doing for me. People have different brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Facts.
Fuck. Okay, we're going way off track. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. AI. How does it affect artists? I went through I went through Kyber. Because that's what Rich
Right.
Freeman Abstract used. It's the visual thing I was talking about.
Yes,
So like
sir.
there's visual AI that's really helpful. I guess one thing that I feel like one statement I should say, like, cuz I like I've always been like on the side of like interest, fascination, kind of like I've been interested in all these tools that I've been exposed to that help me either with my music, but mostly with just like I mostly just like play with AI. Like I have this fucking I don't know.
Yes.
If I don't know if you've heard
Exactly.
of
Same.
I don't know if you've heard of character AI.
Oh yes. Actually, I actually created one of my OCs in character.ai.
Same. I made so many of my OCs on character AI. I'm a writer, and I made almost every single one of my important OCs on character
God,
AI.
I need to send you a link to chat with Gar Chorsten because he is hilarious.
This is great. But yeah, just like shit like that, like, oh god. But how does AI affect artists? Like, really, artist is such a broad term, but like, we're all
Right.
musicians here, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm also
Honestly, for me, I kind of think that musicians, at least if I'm any indication, or the people, other people I know who make electronic music or any indication,
Mm-hmm.
I think we're less freaked out about it than visual artists are.
Yeah. I know visual artists are
and
freaked out because you could just, you know.
Yeah, legit. Oh man.
Anyway, continue.
but I mean, like, I still kind of feel, like a lot of the worry is misplaced, if nothing else. Like, I've seen people be like, "Oh, AI is so scary. We can get so, like we can see completely photorealistic disinformation." I'm like,
Mhm. Oh, deep
yeah,
fakes,
but
yeah.
we also kind of had Photoshop for that in the aughts.
Yeah. No, true. Photoshop
And
is
like,
definitely
think of all the people who fall for a decent Photoshop,
true.
Yeah,
But it's gonna
true.
be think about how much more convincing. I don't know if you've seen, but that's another thing. Like the Obama. Have you seen the famous Obama deepfake with the voice actor who voices Obama? Or
Oh my
not
gosh,
the
I have,
voice
yeah.
actor who voices Obama.
I'm not sure I've seen that.
The voice actor. Oh my god. Okay, no, there's a voice actor who does a really good Obama impression. I didn't mean to say
This
that.
isn't the real Obama. He's a voice actor voicing Obama.
But yeah, there was like,
This is a joke.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you for the
Yeah,
clarification. I would never have guessed otherwise. Okay, but
Honestly, yeah, some people,
fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think when my first exposure to deepfakes was several years ago, but it was when I heard like there was this voice actor who did a really good Obama impression, and
Sure.
they pasted his face over Obama's
Over their
face,
own,
and
yeah.
they were talking like it was kind of like a PSA, almost to like almost kind of like get ahead of this new technology, like, hey, be careful, don't trust what you see all the time.
Yeah. I think Tom Scott did something very similar also.
Yeah. And I'm just
I love
realizing
Tom
now,
Scott.
like,
He's,
even like
I love all of his videos.
the thing is now you don't even need a voice actor. You can change your voice. AI can change your voice and your face visually, and it's like, because I saw like a fucking, oh god, I on the same
Well,
the same
here's
server.
the question I have. Here's the question I have.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Well,
as
actually,
good as a professional voice actor?
no.
Right. And
But-
I mean, I kind of feel like I feel like there's a lot of AI hype in basically every field that has even the slightest thing to do with technology now.
Mhm. I feel like to some extent the AI hype has to do with the fact that it, at least when it comes to the voices, I don't know about anything else, but I feel like to some extent the AI hype is because it didn't used to be possible at all, and now it is.
Yeah, but I mean, also, like, it's not that great. And I mean, people are saying, it'll get better, but like, it's
Mhm.
again, it's the whole, how long is it gonna take until it gets better? Is it perfect now, or is it just in a dip? Is it just falling into the same pit over and over again?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You never can tell because every model is different. They're operating under the same thing, but it's like every model is trained differently. Every company uses a
Right.
different strategy. Like you don't know what kind of thing they do. Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
I know ChatGPT is a very impressive piece of software, AI, machine learning.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not
Honestly,
always...
though, I kind of miss Talk to Transformer. I mean, for one thing, it didn't have any sort of restrictions on what you could say, and for another thing, it was really dumb. It was really fucking funny.
Dude, yeah. I've never seen that. I never fucked around with that specific one, but I used to fuck around with a lot of
hang on. I'm gonna post something in chat. This happened when, like, you know how I said one of my favorite things is to just post garbage into a neural network and see what it shits out?
Yeah.
So this is what happened when I typed in the word fuck squatch.
Okay. You mean like Sasquatch, but with fuck?
But with fuck, yes. Yes.
Cool.
I have no idea. Like this is just, I just typed in the first dumb thing that came into my head, and it wrote a whole like synopsis about a TV show that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck Squatch. Yeah. I'm gonna read this right. I'm gonna read this. Fuck Squatch is an American television series that premiered on the Fuse TV channel on Fuse TV channel on July 23rd, 2007. The show capitalizes on the popularity of reality shows like Buck Wild, Jersey Shore, Duck Dynasty, and their ilk that capitalize on the excesses of American subcultures. The goal of the series is to follow the exploits of the titular character Fuck Squatch, who is played as by a man in a Bigfoot costume. The show premiered to mixed reviews from critics. The premise of the show is that Fuck Squatch is a creature who lives in the forest who is captured by a group of young adults who live together in a house in the backwoods of West Virginia. Fuck Squatch's friends are the chipmunks. No!
Chip,
and Chip.
Yeah.
The chipmunks are played by men dressed in chipmunk costumes. The show follows the exploits of Fuck Squatch. You already said the exploits before, I believe. And the chipmunks as they interact with the group of young adults and their neighbors. In the first episode, the chipmunks are captured by the group of young adults and dragged back to the house. The chipmunks are then introduced to Fuck Squatch. The show's premiere drew in a 0.1 rating, which was an improvement over other shows on the network at the time, with a total of 38,000 viewers. The show received mixed reviews from critics. The New York Times. Okay, I'm done reading. I'm surprised I read that long, but yeah, that's crazy that it just did.
I think the last sentence is the best. A review on the website Media Life stated that Fuck Squatch is a show that doesn't have a chance in hell of lasting more than one season.
That's so funny, dude.
I mean, it wouldn't.
Legit. Yeah.
But I mean, like, honestly, this kind of thing is why I feel like if anyone's job is at risk, it's improv comedians.
True.
I kind of feel like most of this might have been kind of scraped from like the Wikipedia article about the Geico Cavemen show.
Yeah, bro. That's funny.
I don't know. It like this is the kind of shit that makes me laugh. You know, it's like I just type in something stupid and it's like, okay, yeah, this is a TV show that nobody liked.
Yeah. But it's funny because like, I don't know if you remember the early AI where it was like it tried to do like a Harry Potter book. Remember that?
Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself.
Yeah.
Yes, that was. I mean, that was a kind of a
Hermione's
different sort of
family.
AI, though. Yes,
Wasn't
Harry
it-
Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Yeah, that was human controlled.
Oh.
It was more like predictive text. You know, it was like they kind of just selected, words, from like a selection and then just kind of put them together into a sentence.
Ron's Ron shirt is just as bad as Ron himself. I love that line.
Yeah.
Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall.
Yes. The dark arts better fear me, oh boy.
Oh god, I think this has devolved. I don't know how much longer we can stay on stream while staying on topic. How many more things did we want to explore?
There is one thing that I wrote down that I was going to say in this, but I
Gotcha.
haven't yet. If you're cool with it.
Sure, go on. I'm out of bullets, so if anyone else
All right.
wants to bring
Yeah.
up
Let me
things that are
pull it
relevant
up
to-
real quick.
cool.
Actually, can I bring up something real quick before?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sure.
I was just gonna say, if you guys have any of you guys used the BandLab mastering thing?
No.
It actually works like really well, and I've used it before on songs like that I've released. Like it works surprisingly well. The BandLab one, like I even think it's better than the DistroKid one and everything. Like it's actually kind of crazy how well that like AI tool like masters your tracks. I would say not. Probably shouldn't do it with every track, but there's definitely like tracks that it like makes sound a lot better, which is very
That's the
interesting.
thing. I know
Interesting.
I know there are mastering AI that exists that just take, I think it's the wave file and do shit to it.
Yeah.
But like
Mhm.
that's why I was saying it would be cooler if it was like if there was like an AI DAW plugin that gives you more
bro,
sense of
that's
creative control, kind of like Grammarly, where
I like that.
yeah, like you could listen to it. Like you're the ultimate judge on whether you like what the AI is doing, but
Yeah.
it could teach you things that you never would have known before, kind of like Grammarly. Like Grammarly's, not all of Grammarly's suggestions are good. Like some of them suck. It doesn't understand certain instances, right? Like,
Legit.
and the same
Yeah.
thing goes for the AI. You're still going to be an active participant in whether and judge.
It's good. It's good as a partner, not a replacement.
Exactly.
Exactly,
A tool.
Yeah.
Kind of like Grammarly is a tool. You don't follow it. You don't follow it to the letter, which is why it leaves little notes for you, little highlights for you on stuff you might want to change instead of just changing it automatically without your consent. That's what I was saying.
Bro.
That's what I was kind of saying. That's kind of what I was saying with this theoretical AI mixing companion. Kind of like it could like show off different elements. Like you could open this filter plugin, you could lower this volume here, you could do this or this, and it'll add this result, and you could listen to this result, see how.
Okay,
you
now
like
I'm just imagining Clippy.
Yeah, Clippy. Dude, they need to bring back Clippy.
What would the DAW version of Clippy be?
Damn, I don't know. Fucking. Oh man.
Like a talking waveform, like a waveform with googly eyes. Above it.
Wavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, wavy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah. Just like a little companion, like
Exactly,
little guy.
bro.
just a little guy. Yeah.
All right, Alex, what were you gonna say though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
kinda interrupted.
here's what I wrote that I saved. When people in tech talk about AI, they're usually talking about programs like ChatGPT or DALL-E that work on the principle of machine learning, which is a sort of programming feedback loop. Something like ChatGPT or DALL-E is essentially just a plausible bullshit generator. Like so it's trained on a set of data, be it images or text or any sort of digital file at all, and it learns how to approximately output something somewhat like the source file. It ballparks it.
Right.
So by design, it never copies things directly. That is called overfitting, and you don't want to do that. That's actually something that people who program and train neural networks, go out of their way to avoid.
Yeah.
So it's really a neural network is literally designed to generate plausible bullshit. And sometimes it even gets things right. It's like your dipshit high school friend, fun to screw around with, but you wouldn't want them in any sort of position of authority.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a lot of people in tech who want to, replace moderation or like I said, like YouTube content strikes. They want to have an algorithm do it,
Mm-hmm.
and that just does not work.
Yeah.
There's like you really need a human for this. And there's another thing that I didn't write this down, but it's something I just thought of.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely human labor involved in training a neural network.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was
I
some,
don't know everything involved, but like, yeah.
there was some, freaky article in some like magazine or newspaper or another about, the people in, I think it was Nigeria, who are paid, like way less than minimum wage to basically look at the output of something like ChatGPT and determine that it isn't illegal or inappropriate.
Oh.
And that's apparently that's been, sort of hurting like their mental health. So that is something
Wow.
that's worth talking about.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah,
I always just assumed that it was the developers or some more like hard-coded
No, I
AI
mean-
trying to keep it in check. Like, nope, that's not appropriate. Nope, that's not appropriate. I've always been fascinated by how that shit works.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these developers like outsource a lot of their work. So I feel like that is worth talking about. I don't think, like neural networks in general are quote unquote unethical or whatever. But the if nothing else, I think the human labor involved needs to be fairly compensated.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that I didn't know that, but that's definitely, I agree there.
Yeah, if I find that article again, I'll send you the link. Maybe someone in the comments who's watching this would know what article I'm talking about and send a link. Though you got to put some spaces in between the periods if you're sending a link on YouTube.
I've never seen this Ender
'Cause
Jet. I've never seen
otherwise
this.
the spam filter's going to filter it out.
Yeah. It's funny. I've never seen this Ender Jet person here before, but they seem to be very knowledgeable. I'd like to maybe they'd want to hop on at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never got to read their last
I
comment.
sort of know them. I'll message you after this.
Okay. Yeah, less versatile music creation AI. This was a thing they said a long time ago. Like, Iva and Boomy use a far more limited set of prompting, and thusly the AI is far less advanced within the network inputs. Got it. Okay. Well, I don't got it, but that's okay.
Valid.
But yeah. I think we've pretty much beat this horse to death. I feel like I really wanted Abstract to be a part of this dialogue because I'm still new to using AI for my music, but he's used it for longer than I have, so I feel like he could have brought in some like practical uses for AI that we may not have talked about here. But yeah, so this is definitely a to be continued thing. I'd love to have more people here.
I'd love to continue this. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. I'll definitely invite Abstract back on this group. The only reason why I made him leave or removed him from the group is because I know he didn't want to be called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that about does it, right? Unless anyone else has any like closing statements.
No, I don't think so, bro.
Okay, all right. But yeah.
My only closing statement is I am not an expert. I am in fact a complete dipshit. So I could be wrong about all of this.
Yeah. All of us are complete dipshits, and we are just musicians trying our best, trying to figure out this artificial intelligence.
Hey, anyone here into anyone here into Philosophy Tube?
I've heard of Philosophy Tube. I've definitely heard.
She's got a quote that I feel is relevant. Which is that the goal of philosophy is to be wrong in interesting ways.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's what I'm doing here.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. Just be humble.
If you wanna just blind us with logic and reason, feel free to post paragraphs in the chat.
True.
Wait,
Destroy us with facts and
unless
logic.
Keegan's not. This isn't my channel. Is Keegan cool with that?
I'm cool with that as long as it's like respectful
cool.
and not like you
Yes.
fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Like-
if you start something with "you fucking idiot," we're automatically just gonna disregard it.
Yeah.
So it's to your behoovement to be like a fucking decent human being.
Yeah. But no, this was really awesome to have you guys here. Really glad you guys could make it. I really wish Abstract could have made it, but that's fine. We all have lives. I don't begrudge him for this. I'm sure he regrets, not. But anyway, in general, my closing statement would be just like, I know AI is capable of doing a lot of good things. I know AI is capable of doing a lot of bad things, and I feel like as we move forward, we're not in control of everything, and we don't know everything about artificial intelligence or where it will lead. But in general, if you're a musician and you're afraid or worried about AI, or even if you're inspired by AI, just use it the way you want to use it, and don't use it the way you don't want to use it. There's an AI for basically almost everything. Not everything, but like a lot of things, like image generation, audio generation, all kinds of different examples, visuals. Like, I'm planning on using Kyber more often, as well as other visual things like Runway ML to make video to video music video content, just like what Digital Love showed me. Like, that's kind of what I'm planning on doing with AI, and potentially also
Me too,
like
bro.
some other smaller things like AI that will isolate vocals or like remove noise from
like
vocals.
Spleeter.
Yeah, or La AI or whatever, or other plugins.
I think Lala runs on Spleeter.
Or just like a fucking FL plugin, right? Like, I've seen a cool plugin that does that. But yeah, just like
Actually, I think Isotope RX can do that.
cool. But just shit like that. Use it as a tool, and like remember that even though like you might, like, if you're afraid of it, like, you can't like control what other people do with AI. All you can control is what you do with AI. And
Yeah.
I think there are ways you can use AI ethically. Of course, it's a new frontier thing that we don't know everything about. Like, there could be problems with certain text to image things, because I know artists have, I think, sued because their art was sampled without credit to train the models. But like, you can't know every single contingency, and there's no ethical consumption or use under capitalism.
If nothing else, I think that they ought to sue the people who developed the AI rather than the people who are making things with it.
I agree. But in general, just use it forever. Just use it use it in a way that makes you feel empowered.
Exactly.
Use it as a tool. That's my final statement.
I agree with that 100%. I like the
Cool.
message. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. And we'll be back with another AI deep dive whenever. I have no idea when we're gonna make another one of this, but it'll be when Abstract's
Also-
available.
Yep. Hopefully with Abstract.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's helping?
Yeah. Anyway,
No, that was fire.
yeah. Thank you guys for coming through. I'll see you guys in the next live stream.